Well, we've been speculating on it for quite a while here on the channel, that Ms. Marvel's powers in the upcoming Disney Plus series will be significantly different from her comic book counterpart. Now that assertion seems to have been confirmed in some new promotional art for the TV series, and I thought we could take a couple minutes to talk about it and what it could mean for the character. Sometimes source material is good for a reason. Now before we dive in, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button and ring the bell for all the updates. Also, don't forget about the big giveaway. We have a PlayStation 5 to give away at 25,000 subscribers. All you need to do to get in on our giveaway is be a subscriber and leave us a comment. Also, while you're at it, check out the Buy Me a Comic link down below. It's a pretty cool way to support this channel with a tiny bit of pocket change, all while creating no new obligations for yourself. We really appreciate it. Well, I have to say, I don't really know how I feel about this news. We've talked about Ms. Marvel a little bit in the past, but in general, I like comic shows that stay very close to the source material. There's a reason these characters connect with the fans, and when you change that, it alters the character greatly. As of right now, the Inhumans do not exist in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. They did have that short and disastrous outing on TV, but as far as the MCU goes, anything short of Black Bolt showing up in Ms. Marvel means Kamala Khan is going to undergo some major changes. Now, it appears, as we've talked about in the past, those changes will revolve around her powers. Now, let's check out this promotional art. Now, Ms. Marvel is well known for her embiggening powers, and it appears in this series they will be through some sort of Green Lantern-style artificial constructs. This is something we've talked about several times on the channel, and we've also speculated that this will be powered by the Nega Bands, a Kree artifact. We actually did a video breaking down the Nega and the Quantum Bands and their association with the Kree in Marvel Comics. This will all likely play very big into the series, and serve as that direct tie to Captain Marvel in the upcoming Marvels movie. Now, if you're a fan of the character in the comics, this is likely going to make you pretty disappointed. Now, if you're a fan of the character, you know she was a big part of the Marvel Avengers video game, and the demonstration of her powers in the game created some pretty interesting and crazy visuals. Quite honestly, an energy field does not have the same effect as some of the actual physical constructs. Now, this doesn't mean it won't work within the context of the Disney Plus series in the MCU, but like we just said, it is a massive departure from the source material and does alter the character's origin in a huge way. There's also been this ongoing rumor about how her powers work, and it would actually be powered by and I quote, a genie. Now, given the history of the Nega Bands in the comics, I find this pretty unlikely. But the idea of a quote-unquote genie could mean a lot of things. I would not be surprised if there is no genie. That kind of sounds ridiculous. But I could see an advanced alien technology that has a built-in AI that is somewhat like a genie and some third-party character that Kamala would interact with, but maybe nobody else could see. Obviously, this is just my theory and have no confirmation, but it would explain the rumor and put it in the right context based on this concept art. We have not seen the powers in action, and quite honestly, they might look really good. The design itself isn't really the problem at all. Visually, I like this, but it's not the Kamala Khan I remember from the comics. Now, it feels like, minus her Inhuman background, she would just be a regular kid who happens to be fortunate enough to stumble across some alien technology, very similar to how Hal Jordan got his ring. Obviously, once the show premieres on Disney Plus, we'll have a lot more details about how this is going to work, and the alterations to the character may work on screen. But as I've said, there's a reason these characters are popular, and altering their origin story and their powers often leads to a huge disconnect with fans and makes the character quite a bit less popular than in the books. So, what do you guys think? How do you feel about having some confirmation that Kamala Khan's powers in the Marvel Cinematic Universe will indeed be very similar to Green Lantern? And do you believe this will fundamentally change who Kamala Khan appears to be to many fans? Sound off in the comments below. If you like this video, make sure you press like, click subscribe, and if you don't ring that bell, you're not getting any updates. Peace.